Hello everybody, Cal Banyan here, Cal Banyan's Hypnosis, etc. And I'm back with Brenda. And she's going to make a bold statement after I introduce her that's going to let you know in 1 or 2 sentences of what this video is going to be all about. Let me tell you about Brenda. Brenda is an enthusiastic up-and-comer in the profession. She has tons of enthusiasm to help other people succeed. She works very hard in her own practice, which happens to be located here at the Hypnosis Center. And before she did that, before she came over to the hypnosis side, she was a professional working in a rape crisis center. She's got the training for all that, a bachelor's degree in sociology and a master's degree in criminology. How you doing, Brenda? You got my bold statement?
I have a bold statement. I'm thrilled to be here today actually with my trainer, Cal Banyan. I learned everything that I know in the field of hypnosis, well, pretty much everything, from right here at Cal Banyan. And actually today we are going to be talking about training and getting the best training possible. So let me tell you a little bit about Cal, the person that I learned so much from. Cal is the hypnosis authority, and he is actually the one who's brought you hundreds of ongoing training videos right here at Hypnosis, etc. He's also the authority because he's received almost every award and recognition in the profession. His books have made him the authority on hypnosis, hypnotherapy, and especially age regression, which I've got to tell you is just such an incredible opportunity to really help people overcome the challenges that they're dealing with. So Cal is the trainer of some of the best in the profession, and he's a teacher, he's a speaker, he sees clients, and I'm thrilled to be here today to talk about training. So Cal, I know that we wanted, actually before we begin, we did get a couple of comments recently on our Facebook page that I wanted to share on the facebook.com hypnosis etc. page that I think is a really great setup today to some of the things that we want to talk about. So first we had a comment from Margaret Both, I believe is how you say it, and she said, Cal, you are the most generous hypnotherapist. Your videos are educational and enjoyable, and she says, there's a quote, knowledge is useless unless it's shared, and you certainly subscribe to that. And she said thank you so much. And we had Rebecca DiMartino who said this stuff is gold, and she said thank you. And I think that's a really great setup because Cal, we so often talk about that whole concept of gold in, gold out. Get the best out of your hypnosis certification so that you can do the best work possible. And so I know that we wanted to talk a little bit today about what that means to get the best certification possible, number of hours, how to determine what kind of certification you're going to get. So Cal, I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to say about that today.
Well, thank you, Brenda, and thank you for leaving the comments. You know, I've already responded to you individually on Facebook. I almost always am able to do that for you folks. It's facebook.com/hypnosis etc, short for hypnosis, etc. And you know, you leave comments about the videos or the different things that we post, news articles, and I'll respond. And some of our ideas for the podcast come from right there. So let me see. You know, our profession is getting better and better all the time. And it's better and better all the time because we police ourselves. We don't have some, you know, government agency. In most cases, maybe in some states there is some kind of governing agency, but around the world and in most states in the United States, we do well as a profession by policing ourselves. And I'm on the internet all the time because I'm doing marketing or research or just checking out stuff. I'm on Google Alerts and Yahoo Alerts and for keywords like hypnosis, hypnotherapy, hypnotism, and stuff like that. When it comes up, then I go check out the websites. And you know, one of the things we have to do as a kind of self-regulating profession is we have to weed out those that are lagging behind or are not doing stuff. And I have to tell you, this last month or so, I was really appalled when I was visiting some websites of some trainers. I'm not going to mention any trainers' names or organizations' names or anything like that, but you know, each organization has a set number of hours for certification, and there's a reason for that. You know, maybe it's a basic certification or an advanced certification or whatever, because it takes an investment of time, money, and effort to get trained at something, to be good at something. And I'm always concerned when I see trainers or schools, you know, not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Okay, the National Guild of Hypnotists requires 100 hours of training, and a minimum of 75 hours of that must be supervised classroom. I mean, you sit there and you're being taught something. You know, you're working out of a level 1 or level 2 manual, or, you know, you're going through materials, you're watching videos. I mean, supervised, actual teaching classroom hours. And, you know, why would teachers not do their very best to give you everything they're supposed to do? And I was doing a little brainstorming, and, you know, why would someone do that? And I'm thinking maybe they just don't care about you as a student, or maybe they just don't really care about the profession. Maybe they're just in it for the money. I think that when you have someone that says, I'm going to give you a certification with an organization that requires 100 hours, and they do it in, you know, 5 days, you know, you start to do the math. You start to do the math. I mean, if I did a little bit of math here, if it's a 5-day course and 75 hours is supposed to be classroom time, that's 15 hours a day, not counting the assigned work. I mean, come on. They're not doing that. And when they're not doing it right, they're cheating you. They're cheating the organization they're supposed to be certifying for. They're cheating the organization. I mean, why would you want to be associated with someone like that? You are not being benefited by taking a course that's supposed to be taught in over a number of days. So I did some math. You know, it's 6 hours, 6 days. If they said 6-day certification, that's 12 and a half hours a day, not counting lunch, not counting breaks, plus additional assigned training. You just can't do it in 6 days. 7 days would be 10.7 hours a day, not including lunch. I mean, let's say they were doing that. Let's say they were actually doing 10.7 hours a day. What kind of student are you on hour 8, 9, 10, 10.7? I mean, we're only able to really learn so much in so much time. 8 days is 9.3 hours a day. 9 days would be 8.3 hours a day. Now, if someone said they had a certification course that was 9 hours a day, 9 days, and it was 8.3 hours a day, I'd say, okay, I can believe that. But really, if you have a 10-day course, that's 7.5 hours a day. If you've got an hour for lunch, that's 8.5 hours. You're going to have some breaks and stuff like that. Our course, we decided 10 days was perfect. And we get way more in than the required 75 hours of classroom training. And I'm not pushing my course. You guys who are watching these videos, you're already sold on my course. If you're going to take a certification class, you're probably going to want to take it through me or one of my trainers. But the thing is, there's a few people out there that are new to the profession, they're eager to get in, and they're like clients who call up and say, how many sessions and how much? Because they don't know what to ask. They just want the best deal. Have you ever had a client call up and go, how much and how many sessions? And you want to engage them in conversation so you can let them know that's not the main thing. And I just want to get the message out there to people who are getting started that you are not getting a deal if you're signing up for like a National Guild of Hypnotists course and they're advertising 5, 6, or 7 days, because they're cheating you, they're cheating the profession, and they're cheating the organization. What would happen? I don't know what would happen, but what would happen if that instructor gets found out that they taught you and gave you a certificate without the required number of hours? That puts the organization in a bad situation. And so I came up with some scenarios. The best scenario is they might say, look, you've got to make up the hours, you've got to go back into the classroom with that teacher and make up that 10, 20 hours, whatever it is. That's the best case scenario. The next scenario would be, okay, you know what? You need to take a whole nother course with another instructor that's giving the proper number of hours. And the worst case scenario is you could lose, and I'm not saying, I'm not saying this would happen, but I mean, it's a possibility that an organization could even say, you know what, you're just gonna, you didn't meet the criteria for certification, you're not certified. And so you could lose your certification. And all that you thought in the beginning, I'm gonna save money because I'm not gonna have to, rent a hotel room for 10 days, I'm gonna have to for 5 days, or I'm going to, not have to eat out for 10 days, I'm gonna have to only, eat in restaurants for 5 days. That money saved could be a huge loss. You're much better off. I have this old saying, it's a Banyanism, I tell all my classes, if you can't afford to do it right, then you can't afford to do it. So please know whatever organization you're getting certified under, know the number of hours, and then make sure that your instructor is providing you that number of hours. There's no shortcuts in the profession. If you need 100 hours, get the 100 hours. If you need 75 hours classroom, get that 75 hours classroom, and then you can just feel assured that your certification is going to stick and that your teacher is in good standing with your with the certifying organization, and you can just feel good about all that good stuff. All right, that's my rant for today. You want to add anything to that, Brenda?
Oh, I just think that this is such a very important topic, actually, Cal, because, when we come in for our certification, that is a very intense period of time. I know when I took my training here, it was active. As an adult learner, I know, I want to come in and be engaged. I want to hear important information, valuable information, and it's very intense. I could not imagine having worked any longer a day throughout my certification process than I did. We were here every day doing supervision, doing practice in the morning, then meeting with you and doing in-class learning and training, and then afterward also doing some more supervision and practice. I can't imagine if we had added any more days or any more hours in the day just to be able to get all of those 100 hours into a shorter number of days as well. So I'm very glad that we were talking about this today, because as we continue this topic a little bit more today, but then especially on our next episode, when we talk about that certification, that's just the beginning. Then, yes, that certification means that you can start seeing clients and do actually very effective work right away. However, we never stop learning here in this profession. We are required actually to take an additional 15 hours every year of ongoing education. So, we hope that we've given you some things to think about for today about that beginning certification, getting yourself certified, getting yourself started on the path, and then we are going to continue with some different ways that you can go about doing ongoing education, getting those CEUs, because in the end, when we talk about gold in, gold out, get trained to be the best of the best, but then every day is an opportunity to continue learning and growing, and we want to be sure that everyone is getting really excellent information so that they can continue that process to continue to be the best of the best every single day. What do you think about that, Cal?
Anything else you want to say?
I am just thrilled to be here and happy to be talking about certification. I'm very glad to be talking about this. Recently, Cal, I was talking to Erika, and she said that in her state, I believe they're required to have 150 hours before they can see clients. And so this is something really important to be talking about. Where are you going to get your hours to be certified? And where are you going to get those hours to be the best of the best, to train, to learn, so that you can give the best to your clients? Because in the end, that's what we're talking about here, is what you can do to give the best to your clients, the best services, the best assistance, so that they really can change their lives. And so we're continuing to talk about this topic so that everyone can be the best in the profession that they possibly can be. And that's what I'd like to share today.
All right, beautiful. Hey, give us a little heads up. We got 3 more videos coming up with Brenda. What else are we going to talk about?
Okay, so we are going to talk next week with that Never Stop Learning, what different things you can do to continue your learning process, especially for beginners. And then we actually have a few different questions that have come along my way. And so we are going to, I'll wait and preview those later down the road, but we do have quite a few questions that have come in to me over the last few weeks that we are going to dive right in. I have this great opportunity to ask Cal questions for you guys. And so I'm looking forward to bringing those questions to you over the next few episodes.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Brenda. Hey, and you folks that haven't been there yet, I did a teleseminar on age regression that has a tremendous, like $80 value bribe to it. If you haven't been there yet, there's a link down below, and you can go and you can listen to the webinar that we did and learn more about age regression. All right, that's it. Cal Banyan, see you in class, see you at the convention, and until then, you'll see me online. Cal Banyan, signing off.
This recording is the property of Cal Banyan and the Banyan Hypnosis Center for Training and Services, Incorporated. All rights reserved, for private use only, may not be duplicated without permission. For contact information, go to www.hypnosiscenter.com.